up the installation of the epoxy countertop. So we've put a couple of dabs of silicone underneath the work surface to hold it in place on both tops. We've put a little bit of joint cement down into the, you want to watch out for your excess. Put a little bit of joint cement down into the seam. So now I'm going to go ahead and bring these tops together. So you should be seeing two things. You want to see some of your joint cement squeezing up out of that seam. Typically the joint cement will be, the joint will be probably about 1/2 millimeter wide. That's a normal joint. If we don't have quite all the joint cement in there that we need, go ahead and feel free to backfill that. This is a good time to have a bunch of rags. Part of the reason why we put this masking on here. Now here's where you could use some small shims. Something I would use would be a couple of pennies or a quarter or a washer or something like that that you might have handy. But I've got two different, slightly different thicknesses of countertop here. So we want to go ahead and bring these up. There's what we call a butt joint. There are no draw tight seams or anything of that nature, but we'll go ahead and just bring this up a little bit and get those two guys kind of leveled out with one another. And this little gap down here will really be imperceptible. Now that we got our two tops set side by side, just go ahead and bring your spatula down here across this. We're going to need something to collect the excess. So just keep bringing this down, working it in there, filling that seam, using a little spatula or blade, and finishing it off, and maybe collecting any of the excess that we might have. If you have a, should have a rag, we want to go ahead and clean up some of this overrun because that will be visible after the joint is finished. Here's another little thing to do is to go ahead and just use the good old finger spread method. So I'd give this a little while to clear or to cure, and at that point just go right ahead and take your masking tape off, and you should have a nice clean seam with no real material depositing on the countertops.